So it's very important to get this under control, so the doggy's toenail would be back again, grounded on the floor, on the ground, and it would be more comfortable for the doggy to walk and just live their doggy lives. Again, the quick has grown down together with the nail way longer than we would be able to get to the natural and comfortable stage with one grooming appointment or with one nail care appointment, so we need to make a plan there. A very lucky situation, though this part is more disturbing and painful than these or those. Here, the nail curled back can be toenail or dewclaw. It's not just reaching the toe pad, but it's already pressing and pushing against it. Again, it lifted up the toe pad, so the doggy is having a very hard time walking. The pressure is there, the doggy is walking on the toenail, and the quick has not grown down together with the nail, which is a blessing, because with one nail care appointment, here we're gonna be able to get to the natural length, and the doggy is going to be able to walk on this again. Maybe he's gonna be a little bit sore on this part, depending on how much sensitivity developed here and how much skin got rubbed off, but we're gonna be able to get to the right track within an appointment, in case this is the situation on all fours. This case is a tricky one. It's very similar to this one. Toe pad lifted up, it's growing and it's pressing against the skin, but the quick has grown down together with the nail, so it's going to be very, very tricky. And to trim, not super tricky because it can be done, it's not brain surgery or anything crazy like that, so it can be done, but it's going to take several appointments to get to that spot. Now these cases are the ones which make me cry really big time. Not the time when the doggy owner is here, of course. I try to strengthen myself up to the point, but up to the task, but it's very, very painful for the dog. Now it's the trickiest nail situation I can possibly imagine, because it has grown in the skin, which means there's a live wound in there with the toenail in it. So it's a very, very tricky case. The toe pad is lifted up again. The dog is walking on the toenail, putting pressure on the wound in there. It's the most painful situation ever. And on the top of that, in case you compare, that it's not just a curl back nail when you have room for the clipper to grab in here, it's and oftentimes there is a fungus in there. So they have a very thick nail, and it's also softer tissue, but the softer tissue is very close here too, and it has a lot of fungi on there. And combining that, it's also a thicker nail, so there's a teeny tiny room in there. You need to use a special equipment, not just a nail clipper. You won't make it through with the nail clipper. You're gonna cut in the dog, or you won't be able to get through the nail itself. So you're gonna need to use a human nail clipper in these situations where you just cut it's like a scissor type of nail clipper, not like a plier like we are using in general on the doggies when we have room here between the toe pad and the horny surface on the lower part of the toenail. So these situations require a super still dog, either by itself or someone who is holding the doggy down and you trust them big time. And probably you have to be a professional or at least a vet tech or veterinarian to do these, to make sure that you're gonna be able to sanitize this area and you monitor this, and you never approach a farm or anything where the dog can walk in fecal matter, because it can result in a crazy infection if it's not already infected. So that's the trickiest case. It still can be done, can be solved. You really have to make sure that you trust yourself, you have the right kind of equipment, you have the right kind of help. This case, that one, maybe that one, but these cases, especially this one, requires muzzling to make sure that you're not gonna get bitten, because this is gonna hurt big time. In case you know the dog, like for example, in case my doggy would have this situation and he is a very high energy level one with kind of trooper-like mindset, who will you probably be able to sew him up in case he would have a cut, and without anesthesia, because he just doesn't care. His pain tolerance is so high that I would probably do something like that on him in case it's no other way, but because I know that he wouldn't bite me. He would show me that it's painful, but he wouldn't bite me. But I would not suggest this one to anyone. I would probably suggest to go to a veterinarian where they can use some local anesthesia there to get rid of this piece in whole, and to take care of the bleeding in case there is any bleeding. Because whenever it's that situation, you cannot take a look underneath to take a look what's going on with the quick. You have to make a blind cut. And whenever you're doing that blind cut, then it's going to put pressure there, so it's maybe bleeding here, and in case the quick has grown down together with the nail here, then you're going to end up bleeding from this end as well. So there's going to be some blood, or a lot of blood, depending on how thick the quick is, and you really have to be very careful, mindful, and you have a better plan to solve that situation. So that would be a quick peek at my nail drawing collection. One of my friends was super kind to make it for me, because the ones I'm drawing are not really recognizable, let's put it that way. So I'm very happy that she did this, and I hope you got to learn a little bit more and you heard new stuff, so you're gonna be able to trim your doggy's nails more comfortably. There is way more than this to the topic, so I'm going to talk about specific cases on real doggies with real nails, but I wanted you to see the basic picture and the basic nail structure and situations where and what you can do in specific cases to keep the doggy comfortable, and how would you be able to reach a stage when the doggy is going to be fine, and maybe he or she is going to be able to take care of their nails, and you just need to double check on it to make sure that everything is fine. So I think that's it about this.